Okay, so bring home that's the middle.
Yeah, they competed like.
And we're streaming live. And this is Kaya.
This is the Cybergnomes, and this is what we're raising money for.
Oh.
Let's give you a little bit of a show and tell.
Well, thanks for standing out there and helping us.
That's what I was thinking. Start aside.
Yeah.
No. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And we are streaming live.
So.
Oh. So I shouldn't say those things.
He will live, yeah, he will live in Illinois. So for a long time. And we go to the foundation, so we come around. And every day. They come to the there's like a sort of like no one on there.
Sorry.
Yeah. These girls are just about to say that.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Hello. My name is Kai. I am a part of the Cybergnomes, which is a competitive robotics team. Our number is 2013, which is a pretty cool number, I'm just saying. And so we have gathered you all here today. We've invited you here for sponsorship because this is a sponsorship meeting, because this is an amazing robot. You know how to make robots? You need equipment and metal. And how do you get metal? You need money. How do you get money? That is the $1 million question. Sponsorship. And that brings us back to our question. Why are you here? Because we are trying to get you to invest in our future. We are the future. We are the young kids of today that will be the future of our tomorrow. So this is what we're going for, and Annika's going to tell us why we're doing this. Why do we?
Hi, I'm Annika. We're trying to fundraise $50,000 for all of our competitions, because we will be going to lots of seasonal competitions, and we're also going to provincials, and hopefully we will be able to go to worlds. And we of course need money so that we can have hotel rooms and feed ourselves while we are out there doing our super awesome cool robot driving. And yeah. So yeah, that's what does FIRST stand for? Oh, FIRST stands for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. Yes.
That's who was.
That's the program we're under, is FIRST Robotics. Yes.
And are there different tiers of sponsorship? Different levels of sponsorship?
Yes.
And what are you going to do?
Oh, we're about to come and chat with each and one of you, and you guys can just wander around to the different members of the team. So me, Kaya, Cassie, and Maria, and we will all give you little tidbits of why we're awesome and why you should sponsor us, because we're super cool. And anyone online, if you have any questions about it, just put in the chat and I'll answer them.
Do we get a demo?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
You can break it. This story goes bad and see it.
Still think that's.
There you go.
Who's the name of the video? So how does it ride around in truck and poles? Just looking more at each other. It does drive around as well, but we'll wreck the floor. I don't think about it like that.
That you had when you had to build this for this year?
So every year it's a different game that we have to build a robot towards. So this game, it was, we had to basically pick up cubes and put them on platforms and pick out cones, as you saw, and put them onto poles. And we also had a balancing thing that our robot has to balance on for, I don't remember how much time we had to balance on it, at the end. All three of us, because for this game, it was 3 teams made an alliance. We basically just like ran and took the blocks and cones and brought it to the other side onto our side. And then at the end, we would go and balance with our teams.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
And what sort of rules or what sort of,
It has to be a specific like size, of course. So that's kind of like the base that we usually start off with is that size, because we also have to fit our number on it.
and travel with it?
Yeah. And is there a height limit? I don't remember.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Introduce myself, I'm Andrew, I'm the lead mentor for the team. I'll give them some slack, they all are very first year and they actually haven't built a robot themselves yet, so you're asking them really hard questions, Annika's doing a really good job. So the robot has the basics of, it has to be under 125 pounds, under a perimeter of 120 inches. Under a height limit of, I believe this year, it changes year to year on the height limit, I think it's 58 inches. And like there's a starting configuration that it has to fit within, and then there's what it can expand to once the competition starts. So you saw the arm come out, the arm has to be within the frame perimeter to start the match, but then it can come out after, once you start the match.
But there's also a limit on how far the arm can reach, so there's room about how far you can extend outside.
I was just gonna say, can we hook up the projector?
Other rules that,
Introduce yourself, Pat.
I supposed to be coming to you a while ago, so, yeah, so other rules that they have to do is that all the teams use the same, robotics, brain essentially, so they all use the same Rio, so put everybody on an equal playing field. There's a certain set of motors you can use, that range from like more torquey, heavy ones to like smaller, faster ones, so depending on what needs of your robot are, we use motors to like increase or like bring that arm up. So for that one, we need one that has a little bit more ability to lift weight, rather than, it doesn't need to go super fast. Compared to, we want our wheels to drive a lot faster than that. So yeah, and there's pneumatics restrictions, they can't have, walking time bombs on the field. Lots of safety.
And you're of course welcome once we're done talking. Well, it's been pretty constant with that.
Oh, okay.
So the frame perimeter.
We're just bringing up a link, 1 second.
Can change, depending on the game.
Right.
But the height restrictions. will
Right,
change
yeah.
But Rich Meisters, I've been with the team for about.
That's so much stuff on there, just go with.
Oh,
Safari?
Basically.
Actually, either work, but
I don't.
we can just use that link, that's not.
Oh, okay.
Typically, they're fairly new. We reuse like our drive system, we've reused over the years, like kind of modified it a little bit depending on the game. We can definitely look at a long way.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the game, I feel like, because some games like completely different, it's very hard to parts.
Some of the hardware parts, they get so far.
Introduce yourself.
Over a seat.
It's a huge rubber.
Formerly mentioned this. The motors, the pneumatic components, the air compressor, it's just like in real life, everything wears out. You do not
Okay.
want to start your
Yeah, you're-
season with.
Plug this in.
Yeah.
No, it's just as long as we can.
But even during the season, they're often repairing gearboxes, wheels, arms, the whole nine yards.
And I would imagine that the technology will change year over year, in 7 years.
Yeah. You see some of the really early games, it's quite different from the modern one. The era of today, that's it.
Well, even the difference between the games that Andrew played. when he
Just
was,
gonna share it.
when he was a student, and what they're doing now, and it's just, and it's just. We've become so much more tolerant. Yeah, so things kind of
There you go.
advance, right?
And then just, August. It was very good start.
This is what, First Canada will provide to, the teams from the level on this year to be January 6th.
Mr. Volume?
Restart.
They just try to get me back.
It shows the teams what the game will look like and how roughly they're supposed to play it. And then it gets to be creative and how.
So one thing about this is we don't get this information as a team until the first weekend in January. We have no idea what the competition is.
So we're gonna show you here is the game animation. So first weekend in January, full weekend in January, so this year it's the 6th of January, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And they'll give every team across the world this animation and a rule book. And then you're free to go and try a rule book. And it's actually, it's all good.
Of course.
It's 100 and something. So at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 3,000 plus teams worldwide get the game at the same time. So we'll just play this and it'll give you an idea of what we're trying to do. Hopefully there's volume. Yeah, volume.
Welcome to the 2023 First Robotics Competition game, Charged Up, presented by Haas. 2 alliances of 3 teams each compete to score cubes and cones into their grid to charge up their community. The alliances earn additional points if their robots are docked to or engaged with their charge station. Robots start each match in their community and may be preloaded with either 1 cube or 1 cone. Each alliance may choose where to stage 4 additional game pieces. During the first 15 seconds of the match, robots are autonomous. Without guidance from their drivers, robots score preloaded game pieces, collect and score additional game pieces, and are docked to or engaged with their charge station. Charge station points earned during auto count towards a potential activation bonus. The grid has nodes specific to cones and cubes, and some where either a cone or cube can be scored. During the remaining 2 minutes and 15 seconds, drivers control their robots. Robots continue to collect cubes and cones from human players at their substations to deliver power to the grids in their community. Each community contains 3 grids. The center grid is the cooperation grid. A link is a line of 3 game pieces scored on the same row. Completing enough links earns the alliance a sustainability bonus. If each alliance scores at least 3 game pieces in the cooperation grid, the sustainability bonus threshold is lowered for both alliances. Robots are protected within their community and loading zones. As time runs out, robots race to their charge stations. Alliances earn points for each robot docked to or engaged with the charge station. Earning enough charge station points earns the alliance the activation bonus. The alliance that earns the most points wins the match.
If it sounds very complicated, the scoring often is.
Welcome to the Einstein playoffs at the championship in Houston. Are you charged up?
You go and add another talent in them. Yeah, so yeah, that sound. And just click on any one of those the little icons here.
The little play icons. On
Any one of these.
So grab 52, because that's one we played in. They're all on that. Oh, are they? That's right. Yeah. They need to play that. And
Like we're ready to go for that. 52 drivers behind the line. 3, 1, go.
Match 52, 2013 and 1305 on the Red Alliance getting cone and cube up on top respectively. 865 in the Blue Alliance get a cone up on top. 1305 got their 3rd cube of autonomous in their grasp. 2013 and 865 dock and engage. Blue Alliance and Red Alliance very even as we move into the teleoperated period. This is going to be a high scoring match for both alliances. 1374 amped up, dropping a cone out of the middle level. 865 warp 7 trying to line up with the top. Down the red end, 1305 is filling that top level with cubes. 2013, the gnomes are joining them with the cones, trying to get that grid as full as they can. 1305 catching the charge station. 865 slamming into 3560. 3560 just trying to make things difficult for the Blue Alliance in the middle of the field. 1374 trying to find another cube. Looks like they've got one in their grasp. 3560 launched themselves over the charge station, but getting stuck in the process. 3560 beaching themselves on the red charge station, or on the blue charge station. Not sure why they're down there. That'll cause problems at the end of the match. 1305 moving across the field with a cube, trying to go for that bottom row. They get it in there. That's another link created for the Red Alliance. 2 links up so far. Rep waving their flags at 3560, stuck on that blue charge station at the wrong end of the field. 1305 cruising in with another cube in their grasp. 2013, the gnomes right behind them with a cone. Both of them trying to fill up that grid, bumping it into the bottom level. 1305 over the charge station, joining 2013, trying to get around 8731 Wildfire. Blue Alliance, 1374, pushing themselves up on top of 865 in their double substation as they both get some cubes. This is going to be good for the Blue Alliance if 3560 stays stuck on their charge station. There's going to be some points awarded for that if they aren't careful. 2013 trying to get out of the way of 1305 with only 11 seconds left. 8731 pushing 1305 and 1305 and 3560. Try and get on their charge station at balance. 3560 and 1305 are up, docked, and engaged as the buzzer goes. 75 to 74 on the screen with one Blue Alliance robot not parked. Everyone else parked, docked, or engaged. We'll wait for the referees.
Yeah.
Just go out one, like back one, no, like just back on the back.
Our human factor.
And then if you scroll down, I think there, yeah, so you should be able to get to an overtime Sunday. I don't know if there's any videos, so keep going, keep going. There, no video, yeah. But that was, so we did November. Overtime Sunday, so, there's 2 teams in Hamilton, based out of St. Mary's, Catholic Secondary School that do an off-season competition. So it's endorsed by FIRST, but it's not part of the competition at all. And they call it Stanley Cup. So obviously Canadian, you gotta get the Stanley Cup in there somehow. So it's the Stanley Cup. And then they have overtime Sunday because they had so much over the years, they've had so much interest in it that they had to open up the second day. So your Stanley Cup is on Saturday and then your overtime Sunday is on Sunday.
So 2 one-day competitions.
And so some teams will compete both days. But yeah, we did really well. We were there until we competed in the semifinals. So, and we were, I think we went to, like, we won one of the matches. We went to 3 matches. Oh yes, that was right. It was really tough.
So we were, yeah, it was just really, really exciting because there are points that are kind of accumulated at the end. They have to check a few things, and so it tied, and then we had to wait. And then, like, there were no penalties or anything, and it was a true tie. And they had to, so they had to play. Yeah.
And we're all just kind of standing there, just like, this is wild. Like, what's going on?
So close.
You were saying that you were with this file.
Yeah.
Cassidy.
So what got all of you interested in participating?
I just feel like I'm just interested in robotics in general and saw that they were the team and oh my gosh, I get to be in politics. I just felt like that was cool. and it was something in the area, and now that I'm into it, it's even better than I thought.
I don't know. You know, we want to look at hiring managers, so we found this as a good opportunity to get like a look into what it can be like, or just like some experience. I thought it would be very fun, and I followed around a lot of my little sister.
So, as a little bit of an interesting part of how robotic works and stuff, Annika, what are you interested in, or how do you apply that with the team?
I mostly do the social media and digital design stuff for the team. So you can see there's like all the stickers and all that kind of stuff on there. That's what I'm busy helping out with this year. And I also mostly take care of the social media platforms, and I'm doing also like web design.
Which is a big part of what you can offer for sponsors, is that online presence, and Monica's doing a big piece of that.
And as far as the students go, is we're not just appeasing to that engineering type, or appealing to that engineering type. We want students from all walks of life, and, you know, different things they want to pursue post high school. So anything from web design and graphic design to marketing to, and then obviously the engineering and all types of engineering. Yeah, the cast was a student for many years, and he's in environmental engineering. I started on the team when I was in grade 7 in 2007, and I'm a mechanical engineer. So it's
One of our other team leads is training to be a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
He's in aerospace engineering, licensed at Western Computer Science.
Yeah.
He received a scholarship from Western for in his first year. So there's opportunities like that. A lot of the major universities, particularly in Ontario, offer some form of scholarship for students that are coming out.
We have a student.
Million.
We have the student that went to medicine that qualified for one of the scholarships, and she did a Con Ed, so she's now teaching out west. And then we have another one who's in business, and she's in the business of medicine right now. So, you know, and the thing is we always go to North Bay, and all of a sudden, you know, we might go and have like 4 people on the team, but then all of a sudden there are like 5 alumni that are there, and, you know, helping us do the tracking and stuff like that. Yeah, and like, I never competed, but this is the best program I've seen, and the friends that we've met worldwide.
Cassidy, you can talk about that.
Yeah, probably I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
You're so you guys were in class.
Yeah, we went to the Calgary Regional one time, which is cool because a lot of kids first time team players as well. A bit of experience there, and but yeah, there were teams from Australia, Mexico, Israel. I don't know if there were any other teams, but that's like you're literally meeting people from across the world. They're coming to compete in Canada, and they'll do their own program back in their home countries as well. And then you go back to Worlds. We qualified for Worlds that year, so then we just reconnect with those same people we had saw about a month earlier. So there's tons of friends that, yeah, actually I hung out with somebody from first last weekend. Like some friends that I still have. So it's really cool to remember these people you meet.
Students that do first robotics are the best. No question.
So I don't know if it was said yet, but there's so this year we are signed up for a competition in Pittsburgh. So the first competition on the 28th of February is in Pittsburgh. And the second competition will be at Durham College in Oshawa. And the third competition we'll be going to will be in North Bay at Nipissing University. So they're a very big supporter of First Canada. And then Mississauga will be the provincials, and then Houston, Texas would be World. Ending in mid-April.
Example, every costs.
Yeah, so I talked about the cost of being in first and what it costs for the teams, and we run on about $50,000 budget. Your first competition, which is the two in Ontario, is $8,000. And then you have the competition in Pittsburgh will be $5,000 US. And then if we make it to provincials, that's another $3,000 Canadian. And this is just for the entrance fee. And then if we go to Worlds, and it's not out of the question, we have been to Worlds a bunch of times, so it isn't out of the question at all. The big cost with that is the travel, so it is, your 20 hours of travel to get there. If you're driving, there'll be at least one vehicle driving down, and then likely most of the students, I'll definitely be flying.
It was nice when Worlds was in Detroit for a couple of years.
Yeah, the Philippines were ridiculous.
And
But Houston, Texas.
yeah.
It's a stadium, so it'll be in the Astrodome, there'll be thousands of people there, they'll be playing on so the field you saw of us playing in North Bay, they'll have 8 of those set up.
Yeah, when we
And
went
then-
to the last Worlds in Detroit a few years ago, I think they said 200,000 people went through during the competition. And they had, like I said, 8 fields running, and then they ran the finals in Fort Field.
Yeah, so we were playing at, what's that?
The Lions.
The Lions play.
They play
yeah.
for the NFL.
And we have a question online from Jessica Flynn, and she can hear us now.
Okay.
But she'd like to know, and I know we kind of already answered a little bit of this, but I thought just so that we can answer your question. Just each of the Cybergnomes students right now.
I'll answer the first one.
Okay.
What has your team accomplished to date? So the team has been around since 2007. So that's somebody can do the math there. How many years have you been doing this? 16 years. So there's a lot to say we've accomplished in that time frame. The team started as a team based out of Standard Collegiate Institute. We're now a community team. So we're Cybergnomes Robotic Inc. We're our own corporation. Over those years, we've won awards at almost every competition we've gone to. We're winning awards. So last year, for example, with this robot, we won an automation award. We won what did we win in North Bay? Industrial design.
Yeah.
And then obviously finalizing on fields, we've been at Worlds a few times, so that means we won at regionals. So we won the Western Canada Regional in 2014, 15, 14 and 16. 14, 16. Where did we win in 2015? North Bay. 2018, we were finalists on our field at Worlds. So we've competed and we've made our mark in a lot of places around the world, around North America at least. Why does your team want to pursue this journey further? Why do you guys want to pursue this? What do you think you're going to get out of it?
Experience. And also knowledge. I feel like we're gonna learn a ton from this, and we're gonna gain skills that will last us a lifetime.
Hopefully you can remember that one.
Well,
I think one of the most interesting things with the competitions is kids learn not only to compete against each other, but also to cooperate with each other, because the way they do the 3 teams per alliance, one game you may be playing with another team, the next game you may be playing against them. So you have to learn both to be competitive against them, but also be cooperative with them from a strategy perspective to understand how to play the game together based on your strengths and weaknesses of your robot.
That's what you want to get out of it.
So I want to go into engineering, as I said, so I think it'd be like a really good experience to learn a bit more of the mechanical, the design part. Me and Maria, we've been doing some of the designing for the metal pieces on SolidWorks. So we've been working on that, like designing our metal so that we can later cut it so it can fit onto our robot. So I think it's like a good experience for the future. I'm pretty much the same. I never really know what engineering was. I thought it was just cars. Nice to learn a bit more, kind of fun, and just learn other things. So last week I did soldering, just I think
She did an amazing job.
Monica?
I think it's very much just like experience in general and then just learning new things. It's very useful, especially going into an environment where I'm not like, I don't know much about this stuff, so it's very, it's cool to learn stuff that I don't have a background in, which I
You might find something you like you didn't know you liked.
probably for, so I did a little bit of the building, a little bit of everything. We're called
Sure, at the beginning where you were kicking and screaming and again.
So my older brother was on the team. My parents think I was sure to stay home alone for the weekend, so I was forced to win this competition, but I ended up having a good time. So I joined the team the next year. Yeah, so it was good though. But yeah, no, I had lots of hats over the years. But probably the thing that I think stands out the most is the ability, kind of like Rich said, to cooperate with people. You meet so many people of, you know, some kids have different skills and like say your robot breaks and you need to have the confidence to be able to walk to another team and be like, hey, do you have any extra parts? And you need to be able to communicate what that part looks like or how that's going to use on your robot and then work with things or make compromises or bring it back. And I find there's just so much a personal face-to-face aspect that I don't think I would have gone if I wasn't on this team. Like I was on tons of sports teams at school and you know teamwork is a really big part of it, but there's so much, I won't say more stress, but like you're so into it, there's so much going on that it takes you to like a whole nother level of what it means to be a team member, what it means to be a team player. And that is something that I really appreciate having.
I think it goes beyond the team, like you would be amazed to go to a competition and see how many times some team is having a problem with a robot and how many other teams are in there helping them figure it out.
So the one, if I had to pick out one thing that is, and no matter whether you're working with graphic design, you're working in the engineering side or programming, is problem solving. The amount of problem solving skills you learn and being able to think, I'm gonna say this, it's really funny that I say it, on your feet, and going and getting through a challenge quickly and efficiently, and then having a product that works in the end. So, you know, your robot gets out, you can look at this robot, you can see it's a little beat up. It got hit many times and fell over a few times and then, you know, broke a few things, and it's being able to solve that problem quick enough so you can get it back on the field to beat your next match. And that goes beyond the robot stuff too, when you're trying to find your way through downtown Boston, or there's problem solving there that you learn. And for me, I love seeing the kids, you know, offering new experiences where they get to go to, you know, Pittsburgh or Boston or Chicago. As Cass mentioned, you know, for some students, it was the first time they'd ever been on an airplane. Many students, the first time they've ever been in a hotel room, which can be its own challenge.
First time they've gotten a passport.
Yeah. I'd like to turn the questions around them. Can you guys tell us where you're coming from and what got you interested to come out and listen to us speak? You're up at the front row. Can you start?
Yeah, I'm with the Rotary Club of Wasaga Beach, and I don't know how long we've been a sponsor now, so I knew about the team. Always find it incredible, always listening to you guys and what you're learning, and it's different than anything else. It's not a sports team, it's not anything else, but you encompass so many other different areas that yeah, we're proud to support. And we just finished up our Corvette lottery a little over a month ago. So I do have a check to give you guys. I want to have a photo op with the robot and you guys, but yeah. So,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, Kevin,
Yeah, that's great, because we just had a conversation, they had announced that we were a recipient last year, so I thought,
Yeah.
well, that's all, just the opportunity for you guys to actually come in and see
Yeah.
what's going on, and
Yeah.
you've always been a long time sponsor for us, so that's been great.
Yeah, you've done a presentation to our club.
I remember hearing the presentation.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, I'm Jen Schulte, and Monica invited me to come, actually, when we were here on Thursday for the Foundry Christmas party. So we run our real estate practice out of the Foundry, and, for many years, for the last 25 years, we've always donated a significant portion of, back into the community, most specifically into youth programs, lots of different kinds of youth programs. It's been a big part of what we do. So we send kids to camp. We have helped athletes get to where they need to go in their journey. A lot of athletes. We've helped at the youth center for many, many years, supporting different programs there. And so, yeah, specifically, looking at future, how are youth impacting the future? What are you bringing to the table? How, what is your world like? Look at your future self, and from your future self, coming back to where you are right now, what's that journey going to look like for you? And that's what we love to support. And we think that's really important.
Thank you.
And we both.
You're gonna help send some kids to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
The first organization refers to this as the varsity sport for the mind.
Yeah, perfect. There you go.
Okay.
Want me to speak?
Yeah.
I just came along for the ride.
Well, I know everybody else in the room, so.
I was full-time teacher at CCI for a while, and now I supply there, and I did have an entrepreneurship club that I was starting, and then COVID hit, so that didn't go beyond. So I'm always supporting youth in their creative ventures. I'm really excited to hear that this is happening. I'd love to see something like that happening at CCI again. I know there used to be a club there. I'm not sure if there is still now.
Yeah, it's very
But
small.
it's very small, yeah,
So John Lemoge started
Yeah.
Cybergnomes in 2007.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
At State Collegiate?
Yeah.
Okay, he's retired.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, we've been talking to them. Yeah.
He's up here flying just like I am now.
Yeah, there is a competition coming up actually, which is gonna be really fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fun. When's that happening?
I don't remember what the date is, but it's like January, early January. I'm not sure what day, but
Okay.
That's what
yeah,
I'll be there.
yeah,
smaller.
yeah, very small.
That's great. Well, good luck at your competition. That sounds really exciting.
I'm Candace, and I'm here on behalf of Team Chat Lumsden. So yeah, I'm just here to learn more and bring it back to the team, and Lumsden Team Chat is looking to support the community and education and youth research. So this coming up. So I'm excited to be here.
Great having people in. Cause you do so much for building robot, it's great to show as many people as you can. It's so cool.
And this robot has really stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Like it's, sometimes we get to like the last competition that we do, like STEM League, and it's like, yeah, our robot's done. But, this robot's still kind of plugging away, so it's kind of exciting that way. Andrew's, students that were on when Andrew was on the team joined in grade 12. And one of the things they said is, I wish I knew about this team earlier, because it's a team sport that you don't have to be an athlete. Right? And there's so many things that and sometimes, if you're the graphic person, even holding the bolt, right, with your little hands and stuff like that helps to solve the problem, right? And I think you learn more, you learn so much stuff. Just, yeah.
And,
he went through right till grade 12. Unfortunately, COVID was his last year, so that kind of put a crimp on things. But he did learn mechanical, kind of the joke was the first thing he tried to do was put a hole through a sheet of aluminum with a center punch because he didn't realize he just had to make a mark and then drill it. But he picked up the mechanical skills quite well.
So I'm gonna Richard Janet's son is Galen. Galen, I will give him the other side of that scope was that when he was in grade 11, his final year was COVID, unfortunately, so he was in grade 11. And he happened to be the only student left in the shop that night. And he's like, well, what needs to be done? And I said, well, this needs to be machined on the mill. And he said, I've never used the mill. I said, do you want to learn? He says, well, I'll figure it out. And so this kid that went from trying to punch a hole with a pokey stick through a piece of aluminum was now, I'll go figure it out. And, on a 3,000 pound chunk of steel that spins real fast.
He didn't die.
He's still in skill. Well, this robot is built in my shop. I'm in the shop where the team works at. And today there was a fellow came in. He was former Metro Toronto Police Bomb Squad. And I had known him from years back. He'd seen the robot, and then through COVID, of course, like everything else, everything disappears. But he says, are they still working? And I go, yeah. And I said, last year's robot's in the back. Oh, I'd love to see it. And I took him back there and he's telling me stories of bomb squad robots, how this thing is so superior to what they have. And that he just can't get over that students, grade 8 to grade 12, build and program this machine. That's the future, what we need with police departments.
And it's exciting that you think about like they're giving them a game, but you know that industry's backing it. So some of the things that they're problem solving is kind of, it's R&D a little bit, and it'll come back somewhere else in society that they'll go, oh, I remember doing something like that. That was pretty cool. And FIRST was started by an inventor. So that's kind of
First was founded by Dean Kamen and Woody Flowers. Dean Kamen is the notably everyone knows what a Segway is, but a more important invention was actually the insulin pump. So the man has like 120 different patents, but the insulin pump is a really important one for a lot of people these days. Yeah. Anybody wants to comment?
Other questions?
To the
Yeah.
robot?
Come on up and see it.
Don't be shy.
And just because Jessica, I think, has dropped off a little bit, you guys know Jessica, Annika, and Kaya.
Yeah.
If you want to talk a little bit about the U project and give them a little bit of a face time.
The youth project was youth entrepreneurship boot camp, I would like to call it, that me and my sister participated in a few years ago. We actually to keep that and got some money from that from a company that we had that unfortunately kind of went downhill after COVID kind of ended. But yeah, it was a very good opportunity so to get to learn how to speak, like public speak and pitch to founders and that kind of thing. So it was very interesting. Yeah. It was super. It was very fun. Yeah.
And those are great skills to learn. Like any opportunity that you have to stand up and share your craft or share your message, it's a great opportunity to catapult you into the next step.
Everything with FIRST Robotics is real world experience, which they don't get in school.
Got my job first of all.
Oh, did you?
The experience that I've had on here, handed me a scholarship at a professional engineers of Ontario. And that's where I literally had someone hand me their card and said, call me that you're looking for a job. And I'm still working there, 5 years later.
I have a very similar story to Cass that we were doing a youth competition for younger kids, and one of the fathers of one of the students on one of the teams said, here's my card. You want a job, give me a call. And 4 years later, I called him and he gave me a job. And I still work. Yeah.
So my son did a pitch competition and he didn't win the pitch competition. Somebody came up to him afterwards and gave him an interview. And he was hired by a company out of San Diego the following day. And the founder flew in to meet with him. And so they said, well, you didn't win the pitch competition, but you actually are the winner of the year. And that was a pitch competition at school. He was in school in Ottawa. And so you never know, you don't know who's listening in the room.
It's always a good thing to treat every moment or every person that you meet and everything that you do, like that person could be your boss. And, it could be your future boss. And so you don't wanna, when you're building something or pitching something, you always wanna do the best job because you don't know who you're pitching to. And it could be the next boss, could be your next boss, could be, the person that you have to impress because you're working for a company, you never know. Yep.
Or somebody even knows somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So sometimes it's just the network. That's awesome. So which one of you is gonna become the driver?
So we currently. Yeah, but we currently do have a driver. I think he's in grade 10 right now, but he just wasn't able to come today. But Kaya will definitely be some sort of backup driver for sure, and when he graduates.
I was thinking.
And I just want everybody to note that our team right now, they're all girls, so half of our team, I think it is.
Yeah, we're 50%.
Half of girls, 50%.
Actually, yeah.
And I think that the video that we showed at the competition doesn't, the scale, it's like kind of watching soccer on TV. The speed these things move is incredible.
This robot moves 17 feet per second.
Sorry, 17 feet per second.
Yeah, but driving it is an adventure sometimes. Getting run into by it is an adventure sometimes.
Well, the competition the year before, it had a round, well, it was a net, right? But it was a round obstacle in the center of the field. And so the driver was almost driving blind. Like he got the other side of it and he was driving blind as to where he needed to be.
Other
Stuff like
camera.
that. Yeah.
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 What's Pittsburgh?
The 28th of February.
Last meeting.
Yeah. 28th is the third. Oh, we don't even know the game yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna get nudged, what the robot's gonna look like, what it's gonna do.
We can assume a few things. Probably gonna be 125 pounds or less. 120 inches perimeter, so whatever shape that may be, but that or less. It'll have a battery and a robo-rio, which is the control system.
And a robo, sorry.
Robo-rio, so like the main computer, the brain. Yeah, that's about what you can get at this point.
Are all the specs usually in imperial measurements?
So, yes, well, good. So there is, so any of the students, I have a disdain for the imperial system. But unfortunately, with how close we work with the US,
Right.
The system is based out of the US, so it's usually imperial. Now they actually give you the metric conversion in all of the rules and stuff. It's almost all put in there. I would love to build the robot all metric, not have to worry about the imperial system at all. But you can't buy material stock that way. You can't buy, the hardware's more expensive than biometric hardware. Like, there's just so many reasons that we build it in imperial.
Anything you deal with Rotary International is always in US dollars, because
Yeah,
head office is in Chicago. So.
yeah.
And I'm just wondering if one of you girls can talk to the branding, the wonderful branding and how colorful the branding is and what's unique about the branding for the Cybergnomes.
We're very orange, you can probably tell. It's very easy to spot us at competitions because we have our very bright orange shirts, and we also wear like 2 feet tall red gnome hats, which also definitely makes us stand. But yeah, we're very easy to spot, and we're kind of known around the circuit for looking very gnomish.
Yeah. And we can, and branding awards and that time.
Okay.
We're gonna do that like Andrew's shirt, it's got that collar on it, which makes, the kids look really professional and it really brings a very, I don't wanna say classy, but like professional and, you know, together vibe.
We put a lot of effort into, so in 2007, the team was actually called the Cyber Syndicate. We had white t-shirts with blue pastel-y writing on it, and you didn't stand out in a crowd. And then the next year they went, okay, we've seen a competition, let's have a little bit more vibe to it. And so names got thrown around for like an hour. What would it be? And somebody just randomly said Cybergnomes. And well, we're this many years later and it's stuck, and now people know us. You know, you go to competition and you know, or you just say, oh, I was on 2013, like I was at university, and I was like, yeah, I was on 2013. So oh, the gnomes, and it's, you know, and that branding helps you, and you know, anybody that has business ties knows that brand is important. So our bright orange shirts, nice color on them. Yeah, you go to a competition, everybody knows who you are. And it gives you a little bit of clout too when you go up to another team and you're like, we want you to pick us for an alliance, or we want to pick you for an alliance, we want to work together with you. That helps as well.
We've integrated the branding a little bit sometimes, and a couple of years ago the theme was a Star Wars themed competition. So we had another young lady who's now in university, who was our graphic designer, and we have these little wooden gnomes that we produce every year. A little, like one of our mentors cuts, and he works in toy manufacturing. So that year, what our young lady did was she designed all the gnomes with Star Wars heads. We had a Darth Vader gnome, a Stormtrooper gnome, a Luke gnome, a C-3PO gnome, and all of that. And those were just like, they go like hotcakes. Like usually teams will have pins. We have these little wooden gnomes with adhesive on the feet, and you can't keep them. Like we have to only put out so many at a time.
We didn't make any more for the off-season competition, and people like, we barely even rolled the toolbox into the thing. And somebody's like, do you have gnomes? And it's like, we have like 50. Normally we take like 1,000. Yeah.
Some of the mentors and adult volunteers spend a lot of time during the season sticking these things together, putting stickers on. Thanks. It's all again part of the brand. It's brand recognition. Everybody knows that's what we have. They all come to get them. Kids love them. You know, adults love them. They get stuck in strange places sometimes.
There's a picture of we went to Detroit in 2018, and so there's a picture of our whole team with Kathleen Wynn, and on her very expensive blazer, a gnome stuck to it.
And I just wanted to say, my business partner, who's actually in Mississauga, when I said that we were looking at the Cybergnomes, she said, oh, and she took out a couple of pictures at an international competition, I think, and you could see the gnomes.
Yeah.
And there were thousands of people,
Yeah.
but you could see the gnomes.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of branding.
And like we go in the red hats that they have. And generally, if we're provincials, you know, CTV will be there, or CBC News or whatever will be there, and they'll be interviewing somebody. And it may not be our team, but you will always see the gnomes. And it's not that they're photobombing, it's just that they're part of it, you know, they're doing something and you just know they're there. And we've been very, you know, our drive team wears the gnome hats.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with photo.
And they have a bow, right? Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the footwear would look really nice with the uniform.
Any other ones?
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to come up to the robot if you have any questions.
And I'm just gonna say for online,
Yeah.
and Andrew, if you can just talk to the people online,
Yeah.
For anybody, this is because it's live right now and this is all being recorded.
Yeah.
If we can just give them some place to reach out to, Cybergnomes email address.
Yeah, so this, if you would like to reach out to us in any way, we can, our email address is cybergnomes2013@gmail.com. Or you can visit us on our website at cybergnomes2013. Cybergnomes2013.ca.
I'll let you type that.
Well, this is what we put on top of the robot. We'll have something like this on the good part with sponsors, but also what it does is you gain things inside the robot during a competition, you get penalty. So this being a triangular. We have something.
Yeah. Something that wasn't mentioned, the Cybergnomes robotics is not just this FRC team. There's about 35 members in our 3 junior robotics teams as well, that we also support.
Theater team.
Yeah. Theater teams.
And build it. Yeah, so usually what we do is, opening weekend, we'll watch the competition start, then we'll go back to the shop. And then a whole bunch of learning stuff.
Here's an example of some of the sponsors that we have right now.
Like how we're gonna pick them up, how we're gonna move them around, what do you have to do, you have to place them, shoot them. So you have to figure out all of the different mechanical aspects of the robot. And then go from ideation to production. So yeah, in this one we have obviously motors driving the wheels, driving the arm, it's extended, we have pneumatics for the claw. So again, it's a variation depending on. And then this is our computer here. And then the other electronics.
Okay, so we're gonna say bye now. We're going to end the live stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming, and we're ending the meeting in person as well. So goodbye.
Do you want a photo of the team?
Oh,
Is that what you're trying
wait.
to get? Yes.
There we go.
Me handing you guys
Bye.
a check